Welcome back everybody for a new video of my channel of golf. So today this is a bit special. We are going to talk more about what happened during last year and what I'm looking for next year, and we are going to do so by actually watching the training I've done on the practice range during the month of December. And so that was a nice month. I finished the year very in the right way. I think I'm very close to the way I should do my downswing. And actually, this is a summary of this year. This year was about the downswing. The year before that, 2020, was more about the transition, getting to understand how the transition work and so on. But this year was about understanding the downswing. How the downswing work and so on. And I've made a lot of progress towards that. I'm pretty happy. Things are looking very well, and so I think going toward next year is going to be about the release, the motion through impact, and the impact position and so on. And this is a big payoff, because you can do everything right, but if you are not doing what you need to do right at impact or during the release, the rest doesn't matter. So everything I worked until now was good. It was improving my game, but I didn't really have any impact in terms of performance, in terms of score. But I think this year is going to be the big difference, because I'm going to really go and understand how the release work. And so I think I'm probably going to start doing some competition, because also this year 2021 was the year where I started doing some golf course again, because for a few years I didn't do any golf course. I was just training, trying to understand, build my swing and so on. So last year I started doing some golf course again, so it was great. It was just getting back to the golf course, building back some experience, getting comfortable with my swing and so on, but not trying to focus too much on the score, just enjoying it. But now I think I'm getting closer and closer to be able to come back to the competition, to trying to score very low, trying to get my index on the par, which is actually my goal. My goal for this year 2022 is about being able to score consistently under par in competition environment. And so I think I'm on the good path, but also I understand something about me, some deep understanding, where I realize that I cannot trust myself, and I need to have people help me in my decision process, people that I trust and that have my best interest in mind. And if I find those people, I should believe in them more than I believe in me, because for some reason, I'm not going to go in detail into that, I just can't. It's not that I'm not confident in myself. Actually, that's quite the opposite. Maybe I'm too confident in myself. But the truth is, I cannot trust myself. I just can't. This is not a matter of wish. That's it. So I need to build a team. This is something that actually I've put aside for a very long time. I wanted to only trust myself, working by myself and so on. But even though it helped me really dive deep into so here you can see I just leaving, because the first part of the month it wasn't very interesting. I was just practicing some stuff, trying to understand things. The end of the month of December was more interesting, but yeah, previously I was just focused on myself. because I'm struggling with human interaction in general, and so for a very long time I thought the only person I can trust is myself. So I need to. So I didn't see any coach for years. I just try to practice by myself, understanding the golf swing by myself, and so on. But now that I have everything start coming together, I need stability, and my natural tendency is toward instability, is toward getting out of my comfort zone, changing stuff all the time, and so on. So now I need people to counterbalance my bad habit, to stabilize my game, and this is by stabilization that actually I'm going to perform. Because this is something that maybe you can take away, is when you're training, when you're changing stuff in your swing and so on, you're rising your potential. The best version of yourself is getting better in terms of performance. But this is not something that you will see. This is a potential. Then to unleash this potential, you need to stabilize what you are doing. And once you reach this point where you have increased your potential, stabilize it, then you can start to perform. And so this is what I want to do during this year. The few things I'm going to change is primarily around the release, and maybe the other part of the swing if this is a consequence of how I'm going to do my release. But in general, I'm going to be focusing on stabilizing my game, getting more consistent, getting more comfortable also with my game, because the fact is I'm changing my swing all the time, so I have no idea what it means to even be comfortable with my swing. So I need to figure that out. I think for a lot of people that's obvious, but for me that's not. So I need to do the same thing over and over to find some comfort and so on. Because currently I'm absolutely not confident in what I'm doing. I'm even on the golf course, I'm always in a state of uncertainty when I'm hitting balls. So I need to build this confidence, this certainty in what I'm doing, knowing that I can hit good shots. Yes, simply. So yeah, I started seeing a coach. So because this is a winter, I think I'm okay with the fact that we started doing some work on my swing. He helped me actually keep moving forward in the direction I was already moving in, but he is spotting things and so on. And also something very interesting that I see since I started seeing this coach is having someone to check in my progress is very important, because until now it was just me that was working. So I had no pressure to deliver a result, to improve. I was just moving forward, trying to understand things as I go. But even though it put me a little bit of pressure on myself, that's pressure that I can handle. But that's good pressure, because it forced me to each week, because I'm going to see him, I need to have fixed what we have talked about the week before. And also so that put a little bit of pressure on me, but also that relieved a lot of pressure out of me, because now the way I think about it is, okay, he is responsible of my training, I'm not anymore. And so this released a lot of pressure off my shoulder, because until now that was me that was responsible for everything. And so my job is just to try to do as close that we have agreed on for next week, and try to have a result to show at the end of for the next session. My job is just that I'm training during the week, and I show the result of my training at the end. Then we discuss about it, and we take decision. But this is not just me now. So that's also part of it, because I was thinking a lot about this scramble, because this formula, the way we play scramble with someone, I always play very well in that kind of play. And I think this is because having someone with me is relieving a lot of pressure out of my shoulder and allow me to play better. And so I think this is where teams comes in, and having a coach is the first part, maybe a physical preparator, also a trainer. But yeah, having people that take the pressure for me, and rather than me having to hold it all the time. So that's a lot of things that a bit not confusing, but I'm trying to clarify those things in my mind. But I think this year is going to be very interesting. I'm going to stabilize my swing. This is my goal. So I'm going to stabilize my swing and try and start competing again. And my goal is to be consistently scoring under par with in competition. And yeah, so yes, I think that's it for this part, and maybe I'm going to talk a little bit more about the video. So what was this session? So third session, keep the right arm straight on the way back, rotating through after good transition on the last swing. Okay. Yeah, this idea of right arm being straight is primarily around the fact that I'm moving my backswing is going a little bit too long, actually. This is primarily due to the fact that I'm very flexible. But so here I was just trying to resist with my right arm, but something I understood since then is it's more about resisting with the transition, keeping the takeaway. Actually, for me, for you, it might be just after the takeaway, which you try to resist and start the transition, doing so. But for me, I need actually to shift my weight before I start moving the club, then actually resist all the way through my backswing. So just turning the hips is enough momentum of the to give to the club, and me, I should only resist and keep my arm in front all the way. I should not swing anything across my body, because if I do that, it starts engaging every joint in my core, and so then I'm having trouble keeping my backswing short. Let's move on. So here you can see with the irons, I was crossing the line a little bit, and with the wood, I am not. But I think the primary issue is I'm kind of getting here, maybe not, but there is clearly an issue between the woods and the iron, so I'm not able to do the same thing and get the same result in terms of swing. So I think also something I need to figure out, either having a different swing plan between my iron and my woods in order to compensate, because here I didn't like my backswing with the iron, but I do like my backswing with the woods. And the issue is, if I like each time I've tried this, it ends up with the same result of me either having a bad backswing with my iron but a good with my woods, or having a bad backswing with my drive and woods and a good with my iron. So it's kind of very confusing, very annoying. I'm not able to get a good backswing with everything. Nice. So I think the only solution I see here is for me to actually have two different plans between my woods and my irons, because it's like I'm trying to optimize something that is not optimizable at all. let's move on. So real right arm extended still. Pull down as I'm building like during the transition. So okay. Here the idea was I'm keeping my arm extended away from me. As I'm transitioning, I'm pulling down to avoid having to avoid letting the arm go too far, and then I'm just rotating through and pulling through. So this is level 1 swing. I'm just rotating my wrist, my forearm, not my wrist, but my forearm like this. Rotating my hip by contracting the inner muscle and extending this one like this. This is how I'm doing my backswing with the level 1. Oh yes, actually I think this is that because it's been a while, but I think yeah I'm going to start after this session to actually have a different plan because this solution is going to be the only solution for me. You see here I'm not able, the backswing didn't look that bad with the iron, but it looked completely off with my wood. From face on, how does it look like? Something I see from here is my upper body is moving way too forward. You see, I was trying to shift my weight and pulling my club, but because my upper body is just too much forward, I have no room left to do anything. I'm just, yes, my weight is shifted towards the left. That's great, but my upper body also, and so the only way for me is to stop. Yeah, that's not. One string, 3 plants. So that's the start. At this point, I thought, okay, I just can't do the same swing for each category of clubs. I would say. What I mean by that is I have my level 1, what I call my level 1, which is just with my wedges. I want to have a total control over the length of my backswing. And so I'm just moving back in 1 and 2 motion. I'm moving back, I'm moving through. And I want to be able to stop at any point in my backswing and come back in the downswing. So that's the level 1. You see 1, 2. So backswing looks good. I have just this little movement at the end of my backswing that later is going to keep coming back, and that annoys me extremely, but other than that, that's okay. I'm just going far to left on the way through, but we are in January currently, and I think I found the solution to that, so I'm pretty happy because that was a big trouble I had for I think years actually. So if I'm not yet sure that I found it, but if I did, that's going to be awesome. So you see, level 1, it's a very simple swing. Actually, it's my basic swing, but when I remove everything that is not essential, just to keep it as simple as humanly possible. And so I'm going until lob wedge, gap wedge, pitching wedge. I think I tried this swing with a lot of different clubs, maybe also 9 and 8 iron. I'm not sure I went as far as the 7 iron. Here, this one is pretty good. Maybe I'm a little bit outside, but here I finish my backswing and I'm going back down immediately without this little movement at the end. That's pretty cool. Here so here it's level 2. Level 2 is I'm doing exactly the same with my hips and with my forearm, except I'm also kind of shifting my hip like that. Because at the setup I have a little bit of axis tilt to the right, and here I'm shifting my hip towards the left in order to remove this axis tilt or even increasing it in the opposite direction. And at the same time, I'm continuously opening the club on a flat plane, as flat as I possibly can, behind me. So here, you see, I'm trying to keep the club as much to the left, in this direction as possible. Then I shift to the left and rotate. So this gives me a perfect backswing with my iron. But if I do that with my woods and my driver, it's going to be absolutely awful. So I'm not going. So I'm going to show you the difference I do. But here you can see this gives me an absolutely perfect swing with my irons, at least in the backswing. Dart swing is still correct, but where things get wrong is the release. But this is going to be the goal of this year, so don't be in a hurry. We are focusing on what is already good, and we will focus on the next year. Nice, very nice. Is it working? Yeah, it is working, and only 3. So here, the only difference here, I'm actually not rotating my forearm. I'm just using my wrist to do this motion, set the club as vertically as possible, not in a flat plane, vertical, but the rest, the motion of the lower body stays the same. So this allowed me to keep the club a lot more upright at this point in my swing in order to get across the line. A little bit more. Actually, here a lot more, because I was trying to cock my wrist on the way down, which increased the fact that I'm crossing the line. But that's not something I'm looking for, because it keeps my face wide open and create a lot of trouble after that. So that's not. So the backswing is correct, but the thing I was doing here by increasing the wrist cock on the way down is not good. For now, at least. Maybe in the future I will see, but at this point it wasn't. And so you can see by doing that, I got a pretty decent looking backswing with my wood. Downswing looked great, but then the release looked like shit. But that's okay. As I said, that's okay. So level 1, I did a little bit of face on 1 and 2. Actually, what I wanted to see is if with my level 2 and here I'm shifting my axis tilt. You can see here and here it's a little bit more on this direction, a little bit more tilted to the left. and so I wanted to see if it was something extremely obvious or not. Actually not. And what I have understood after that in the future now actually is here I need to resist a lot more with my lower body a lot earlier in order to catch, because here at the end of my backswing my hips are way too much to the right. They need to be back to the center or even started to go to the left at this point. So I can shift my weight way more to the left and rotate way more, because here the fact that my axis tilt is tilted in this direction, I mean towards the target, when I'm start shifting my weight, but it's going to push my upper body to the left also, instead of just shifting my weight with the lower body. That looks okay. What I like here with my wood, with the technique I told you, is my left arm is pretty straight. But I think this is that I don't need to be so pissed off about the fact that my backswing is too long. It's just because my lower body is not shifting back to the center or even to the left. If I did, my axis tilt is going to be a lot more to the right, and so my backswing is going to be a lot less longer. So I think I just need to focus on that also. Very interesting. Yes. Shifting axis tilt during the transition. What I told you, I need to do that. Bumping my hips forward and keeping my head behind, because I want my upper body to not move forward as I'm doing my downswing. I want to keep it back. Ah. Difficult to see on this. Maybe I should have done some more face on video for this one. The level 1. Not that bad, not that bad at all. Now, level 2. That's really looking pretty good. I like it, except for the release and follow through, but yes. That look good, but the thing I have understood right here of why I'm doing this fucking bad release. Stay tuned for us next month because I think that's going to be interesting. Anyway, let's move on. What I see here is I'm moving a little bit outside the plane and the club draw behind the plane and get flat. And I'm even though I'm trying to resist as much as I possibly can. Yeah, I start to remember why I did a change in my backswing at the beginning of January. Alright, let's go. Let's wrap things up. Bad. Don't even want to see that. Closing the club face for the catapult motion. The catapult motion, remember that because it went in this session just like this. Maybe I should try, but I think that's the main thing I need to work on. It's just that to do that I need to do also something else. But that level 2. Backswing looks good. And the release looks better also. That's why the catapult motion is actually what I need to do, because if I'm doing it the right way, I think this is going to solve the issue of the release and the follow through. But currently I'm not able to do it, so I need to work on that. No, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Anyway, last session, and actually this one I'm pretty happy because my swing looked absolutely awesome. So through hips rotation on the way back, start the transition earlier, and rotating through vertically. Okay, through hip rotation, I told you that in the backswing I'm doing that. So now in the downswing I'm doing that. It took a little bit of time to went through to the top of my head, but now I get it. I move back like this, I move through like this. And actually the movement throughout the swing that I like to do is moving back like this in the backswing, keeping the hips like this in the transition to stabilize the transition, and then bam, moving in the other direction at the moment of impact. So, last session. Starting with a little wedges, as always, warming up. Yes. Tranquil. One of the things that the coach told me is he liked my posture, the way I set up. So that's good. For me, that's focusing only on what doesn't, what is not good in my swing and so on. That's good to hear something that is good about what I do. I need to focus more on that and stop focusing on what is not working or what is not good. Let's move on to the level 2 because the level 2 looks absolutely gorgeous. Still level 1. Level 2. Let's go. Because here, I think that was just after the first session I did with the coach. Actually, he told me that if I want to stabilize my swing, I need to fix everything that I need to like my swing, and I need to fix everything that I don't like about my swing. And so this is what I did. What I did is I don't like the fact that I'm moving. I'm still doing it a little bit, so moving a little bit up and then down like this, that I don't like. And I think, this one I think looks gorgeous. I'm resisting a lot, not. But yeah, so that was that. I think no, this is the last session of the month of December. I'm pretty happy. That looks very good. I'm finishing. I have started the year with a session where my swing looked pretty good, and I'm finishing it where it looked even better. So yes, good year. We move forward, but oh, that's absolutely awesome. Except for the release, for the motion through impact. That look good. Also, I'm resisting a lot more with my lower body. My upper bodies look great. Even though my shaft is a little bit, but it's good because it's like I'm resisting a little bit. So you see, I'm not doing this motion of moving up and down. I'm just keeping my head down, 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 and keep moving down. Then that's great. That's really looking great. Oh, this one looks like shit. Oh, this one looks awesome. Awesome. Ah. Yes, like it. Anyway. Actually, this first swing, I remember I forgot to switch my technique between my iron and my woods, and I didn't resist enough with my upper body. It got a little bit flat, but not that as flat as I thought, so that's good. Then I resist. Then I hinge my I set up my wrist a lot more vertically, and it looked a little bit better. Yeah, but anyway, I think that's time to wrap things up. So yeah, very interesting year. I moved forward in my swing in the way I understand things and so on, but still I didn't get some result because on the golf course I didn't score very well. I didn't do some competition either. So this year, 2022, is a year that things are going to change. Actually, yeah, I like this swing. Pretty awesome. Yeah, so 2022, I'm going to get some result. It's time now. I need to stop fucking around. I need to be focused and to deliver. Because if I want to reach my goals, I need to move forward. So let's do that. So, yes, exactly. Oh, exactly. So, thanks you for watching, and I see you next time.